Hey, welcome to the process. My name is Dr. John Bush. This is week 14. Snaps report, efficiency, home versus away analysis. Adding a little extra stuff this week, secret stuff, if you will. Snaps. Most people follow snaps, and so it is not a secret kind of information, but I still follow it. Again, this is my process. I like to kind of see movement in the teams and players as they improve or decline with snaps. It helps me think about things, getting my thinking. So we'll hit snaps here in just a second. This report with all the visuals will be at the scienceoffantasyfootball.com. My snaps report is and will be available, and of course you'll hear me if you won't run in my mouth. So let's talk about team efficiency. It's where I combine game points scored per second and yards per game. So I try to fuse these two data together. And I look at the season, I look at the last three, and then I look in differences between those two and try to guess, is the team improving, declining, what's it doing? So that gives me an idea. So the top improving teams are staying in green and the decliners are in red. So improving teams, Green Bay, Pittsburgh, that's a surprise. Indianapolis, Miami, Jacksonville, Houston. How about Houston? That's kind of amazing, but we're moving back to the old quarterback, so you wonder what we're really going to get. And Detroit, the favorite. Everybody loves Detroit, and they've been doing good, but they do good at home, and they've had some good home games coming. Declining teams: Chicago, Tampa Bay, the Jets, New Orleans, New England, Carolina, Baltimore have been declining here. And so some of these are the usual suspects. Some might be a little bit of a surprise. Be cautious if you're investing in these players and these teams. Doesn't mean not play the top players, etc. It's just be cautious. Okay, so when I see this, it reminds me to take a double, triple look at what I'm doing here. That's it. Okay, doesn't mean I won't play players there, but I think we need some mechanism to help our thinking, and this is why I use my metrics here. And then here I just plotted it out. You can look at the teams and look at Green Bay. They have really turned it on the last three games compared to the whole league. So that's, of course, Christian Watson have really been part of that. So you wonder, is Aaron Rodgers just needed that kind of player to, to do well. So we'll see. Carolina, Baltimore, definitely declining in Baltimore. I don't know what's going to happen with Watson. I would be extra cautious. Doesn't mean I won't play Andrews and others, but boy, it's making me not want to, doesn't it? Home and away efficiency, and looking at that ratio of how the team plays at home versus away. Some teams are really biased to the home. They're in orange. Loves home, I say. Okay. You can see how their efficiency away, some of them are some of the worst in the league. And home is, some of these teams are in the best. And so you look at the ratio here, and this, this is the top, what is this, 7, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 6. Atlanta's pretty good. Minnesota. And believe it or not, there are these opposite teams that love and do better in away situations, which is quite interesting, actually. And, most people with Vegas, you're always thinking about home field advantage. And here we have teams that play better away from their home. Kansas City's one of those, isn't that interesting? So anyway, you can look at that ratio, and I think you can pretty much give yourself an idea of the balance of away versus home efficiency. So you can kind of get a feel. It depends on if they're, of course, where they're at today, home or away. And I plotted it like that. You can just get a visual of these skews here. Seattle, boy, they don't like their home. Chargers don't like their home. Jets don't like their home. Washington. Whereas Buffalo, Indianapolis, Detroit, and Tennessee love to be at home. So if you're betting and daily fantasy, this might be something to consider. Keep your diary, see if it helps you. So then I decided to up my game, and I wanted to look at teams, how they behave, not only their efficiency, points and yardage accumulated, but do they run more, pass more, and do they tend to do well in the red zone attempts? So now you see I have the ratio, home and away ratio. I have rushing attempts, passing attempts, and red zone attempts. So how do we read this? Buffalo loves home, 1.9, top in the league. So I sorted by home love. And this week in orange are the teams that are actually at home. So Buffalo loves its home, and it is at home. At home, their rushing is 0.85. That means they tend to rush more in away games. So for Buffalo, they're probably going to want to pass more, and in the home, they pretty much pass more than run anyway, but they still pass a little more in the away games, but not much. 6% difference there. But look at the red zone. One of the higher ones, 1.4. So Buffalo loves its home, and they score lots of points, tending to be passing. So passers at Buffalo, you're doing well. Tennessee loves its home. Tennessee doesn't rush as much. You would think with Henry that they would, but it's actually, look at the skew to the passing. When they're at home, they're like 0.4, 40% higher in passing. So this week, maybe that hot tight end, or maybe Henry out of the backfield or Hilliard. I'm looking for more passing opportunity. As far as red zone, looks like they're pretty much about average, so they're not really scoring dramatically one way or the other, home or away. So 0.96, anything close to 1 is pretty much dead even. Detroit loves its home. Detroit doesn't run at home. Detroit passes at home. And Detroit at home, 1.2 red zone. So they're really cranking up on the touchdowns there and their activities. So all that is good. I expect lots of passing from Detroit this week. Not as much running as if they were in a way. So now you can see, you can scroll through and make some kind of predictions. This will help you consider the events today for this weekend. And I decided to add this to my Sunday, Monday game analysis. So I added this little strip of information in my article I'm going to try to get out Saturday. So you actually have a thumbnail of a home away efficiency, rushing, passing, and red zone attempts. So that will give you a little bit of insight with the Vegas, with the defense against the position, with my uncertainty rankings. So you'll have a lot more information than I've given out before. But it's getting close to the playoffs, so, and we have more sample sizes, so we can start getting a little bit better at some of the metric based decisions here. So I'm kind of letting the metrics pull me, and I'm towards a deeper thinking now. You know, you need that with your playoffs. Buddy on the table, it's time to get serious now. Keep your diaries going. So anyway, you can check this out. Look at this. Seattle's at home, for instance, but they don't like their home. And in fact, look at what they do at home. 1.34. They're an away game. But they don't do well with red zone in a way. So they do pretty good efficiency wise at away, but they don't get into the red zone a lot. So they kind of are a little bit more of a futile situation almost. Isn't that interesting? Chargers at home, and the Chargers don't do at home. They actually do better away as far as red zone attempts. They're equal pass running. So you can look at this kind of thing. Here's Washington. Okay, take a look. They love their away games. And look what they do at home. They don't do a lot of red zone. So they generate lots more activity away. Here's Denver. Denver's at home, and they do 1.16. So they're going to do better. And look, they do rushing. Look at that. They rush more than in their away. They actually pass a little more as well. So they're just more souped up in home, but efficiency-wise, not very efficient. A little bit more of this feudal cycle, kind of like Seattle here. Very intriguing, some of this data. So I finally just give each team an example of the team, the position, the player, the scoring level, SL scoring level. Higher the number, the more average they've scored per week. Here's their average snaps, and there's their snap numbers in the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks. So you can take a look. James Conner Scores pretty good compared to everybody else except for Clement, but he's only had one, so you can ignore that data. Uh, you figure everybody talking about don't play James Conner. I don't know what y'all are talking about. I'm playing him. I mean, you know, I, you can look at my rank and see where I put him, but I'm definitely nothing to say I shouldn't play him. McBride, he's taken over, but he's not scoring, so you can ignore him. Marquise Brown, uh, hopefully he's back, but he hadn't been scoring last, games. Of course, he's been out, so we'll see. Hopkins is your top scorer. He's been doing well, but they've been throwing out a lot of AJ Green and Anderson because Moore had been out, so I don't know if he's coming back because Moore's been a really good scorer in here. So anyway, you can tease out the players, the rankings, the scoring, and help you break some ties there, I think. So you get a feel. You can look at all the other teams and use that to help you this week. So I would definitely take notes, see if some of this helps you. Put it in your diary. And if it doesn't help you, then I wouldn't pay attention to this. It helps me, but it may not help you. Anyway, that's all I got to say. You can see all the team and all the other data. Stare at it, think about it. So I wish you good luck. I'll have my rankings and all my other DAPs and all my other goodies hopefully Saturday sometime. I think Dennis and I at ScienceandFantasyFootball.com we're doing our podcast, so you can tune in on that as well. Okie dokie. Good luck this week. Let's get into the playoffs. Yay.